Picture this, two kids, born on the exact same day, but one is in India and the other is in the United States. You might be surprised to learn that from the moment they first step into a school, their educational journeys are on completely different tracks. So today, we're going to dive into those paths and see how these two giant democracies handle the very first years of a child's education.
You know, it's a question pretty much every parent on the planet asks. But what if I told you the answer? Well, it completely depends on your zip code. This one question is what kicks off two totally different adventures for our two kids right from the get-go.
So in India, our little one is likely heading into a preschool classroom by age 3. Meanwhile, over in the US, formal school usually holds off until age 5, when kids start kindergarten. That's a full 2-year difference right out of the gate. And believe me, that gap shapes absolutely everything that comes next.
All right, so how does that 2-year head start actually change the blueprint of early education? Let's take a look at the structure itself.
Okay, so India recently rolled out this new system, and the first part is what they call the foundational stage, and this is the really cool part. It's a single 5-year block. It actually combines 3 years of preschool with first and second grade. The whole idea is to make it one continuous, smooth journey from age 3 all the way to 8 with a huge focus on play-based learning. Now, the US path, it's more like building with separate blocks. You've got your optional pre-K, then there's a very distinct year for kindergarten, and then you move on to elementary school. Each step is its own stage with a pretty clear transition to the next one, instead of being one long, blended foundation like in India.
So the structures are different for sure, but what does it actually feel like inside the classroom? What are the core ideas driving how kids learn?
Well, traditionally, the Indian system has really valued mastering information. Think of it like learning a recipe by memorizing every single ingredient and every single step perfectly. The US approach, on the other hand, is a bit more like being handed those same ingredients and being told, go experiment in the kitchen. It's all about hands-on activities and learning by asking questions.
But here is where things get really interesting. India is right in the middle of a huge shift. Its new National Education Policy, or NEP, is making a massive push to blend its traditional strengths with exactly that kind of hands-on, play-based learning we were just talking about. It's a system that's literally transforming before our eyes.
Let's switch gears to something really tangible, the calendar. I mean, how does the actual rhythm of the school year compare?
You know, this really shows a huge cultural difference. The US is famous for that long 10 to 12-week summer break, a tradition that actually goes way back to its farming days. But in India, the main break is shorter, and it changes depending on where you are to deal with the climate or major festivals. This creates a vacation schedule that's much more spread out across the year.
So we've got two different starting ages, two different structures, and even two totally different yearly rhythms. When you step back and look at the whole picture, what does this tale of two educations really show us?
Ultimately, what we're seeing are two really distinct philosophies. One path starts super early with an integrated, play-based foundation that's now changing to embrace new ideas. The other path starts later, with a more segmented, question-driven approach that's built around that famous summer break. And honestly, each one is a product of its own unique history and culture.
And all of this leaves us with a really big question, especially in our fast-changing world. Is it better to build that strong foundation super early, or is it better to spark creativity with a later, more inquiry-focused start? There's no easy answer here, but it's a question that gets right to the heart of what education is really for. So, what do you think?